Hey, what's up everyone? Just want to share something that was really hard for me to talk about growing up, but has become something that I've learned to actually appreciate in my life. And it's this. I was born with only one hand, or should I say that I was born with an underdeveloped right hand. And so you notice all of my fingers are really small. I don't even have nails here and these fingers right here. And the only finger that I could actually move is this little guy right here. But to be honest, when I was growing up, I was actually teased a lot by a lot of kids, and even some adults were jerks too. Being called names like freak and stuff like that just didn't really help my self-esteem at the time. And whenever I had problems with kids, either they were at school or in the neighborhood, didn't care. I guess they couldn't think of something clever to say, so they would just point and laugh and be like, well, at least I don't have one hand, stuff like that. So that really got to me growing up, and I wish their words and the looks on their faces didn't get to me, but truthfully they did in more ways than I would have liked. And so I became extremely self-conscious about my hand. I just wanted to feel normal, you know what I'm saying? And I felt like I was so ugly in people's eyes. I mean, I felt ugly in my own eyes, and I felt very insecure and different. And it sucked because I really thought that girls would never like me. That was like a big thing. It was really hard for me to accept. I thought they wouldn't like me. I just couldn't imagine any girl wanting to hold my hand because it would just be too disgusting, you know what I'm saying? I was fearful about like wondering what kind of job would I have when I grow up to be an adult. And I thought like, oh, you're always having to use both of your hands, I think it might be hard for me to work a cash register, handling money or whatever, stuff like that. And just thinking about how will I have to deal with uncomfortable stares the rest of my life. And so I struggle a lot with loving myself. And so what I would do is I would keep my hand in my pocket most of the time. If I didn't, I'd probably be wearing like a long sleeve sweater. And it sounds weird, but I would actually hide my hand in the sleeve of my sweater. Even if it was like really, really hot, I would still wear sweaters, and kids at school would be like, Josh, aren't you hot? And then, with like sweat dripping down my forehead, I'm like, no. But honestly, I did whatever I could to hide my hand because I was so afraid of people's reactions. For most of my life, I kept asking questions like, why me? Why me? Why did I have to be born like this? Life's not fair. And I would just constantly complain. But let me tell you how things started to change for me. It's when I stopped focusing on the why and I started focusing on the what. And I started asking myself the question, what can I be thankful for right now? Because for the longest time, what I didn't have got in the way of me seeing all that I already was. And so I started being thankful for the fact that even though I have a small underdeveloped right hand, I still have a palm and little fingers to work with. Now, why is that a big deal? Because growing up, I got into breakdancing when I was in elementary school. I did that for most of my childhood up until my first year of college. I was still able to play sports with my hand, basketball, football, baseball, all the major sports. I was still able to tie my shoes. Thumb wrestling, not so much. I was still able to play video games growing up, which was a big thing for me. I still play with my iPhone to this day. You know what I'm saying? I'm still able to carry objects, plates and other things. And I was even able to write 2 books. I'm basically able to do a lot of the things that people with 2 complete hands can do, but just maybe in a different way. Just thinking about what I already have improved my love for life like crazy. So what about you? What are you struggling with? Whatever it is, will you start focusing on what you already have right now and use it to the fullest? That thing that we're mostly self-conscious about? Guess what? Most of the time, people don't care. But we do, because all of the fear is made up in our minds, so it's not even real. You see, the problem ultimately isn't other people. What it comes down to is us changing the way we see ourselves that ultimately matters. So don't let anything or anybody hold you back from fully expressing who you are. Embrace who you are. Be proud of who you are. Do I still have weak and insecure moments? Yeah. But you know what? So does everyone else. And I'm learning to love and accept myself more and more each day. But before I end this video, let me remind you of a couple of things. You are amazing. You are unique. You're beautiful. You're valuable. And don't let anybody convince you otherwise. My name is Joshua Tongol, and this is me.